Hi everyone. Good morning. This is Tricia Roberts. I am the Arts Educational Coordinator at the Plymouth Arts Center, and this morning we are going to be working on our first live art project together. Let me just make some adjustments here. If you're watching, say hi, give a comment, give a heart or a like. That way I know how everybody's doing, if you can hear me okay, things like that. I'm going to give just a couple minutes before we actually get started. Right now I'm looking at my computer, so I'm going to watch sort of live too, so if I do get a comment or something like that, I can respond to it. Give me one moment here, let's see. Posts. Oh, there I am. Okay, so again, if you have any questions or comments, or if you want to say hi, anything like that, you can write a comment either on your phone or via your computer, however you're watching today. Oh, someone sent me a heart, see? That's really fun. And I can do my best to answer those questions or respond to those comments. So first, a little bit of background. We are sad that we are closed right now, obviously. We miss everybody dearly. So we've been trying to think of ways that we can try to reach out and get in touch with our community. I've been at the PAC for over a decade performing with Mill Street Live, but in this position for just a couple years, 2 years this June actually, and I've had such a great time working on, oh hi Emily! Emily is there with her kiddos. Thank you for watching. I co-teach a toddler art class with Bianca. I do Mastering Mill Street as a performance camp for kids that takes them through the steps of what it takes to put on like Mill Street Live. And yeah, so that's kind of my background. I used to be a high school English teacher. Oh, thanks Mom. My mom's watching so she can tell me the sound and video is okay. Thanks Mom, you did it. You got it. Okay. A few things to look forward to again as people start coming in to watch. We have adult classes that hopefully will be running this morning. Not this morning, oh my gosh, that I'll talk to you about this morning. Hopefully we'll be running this summer into fall as soon as, we're able to be around each other again. Artists like Colette Odaya-Smith, Mary Mendla have great continuing classes for artists. Mary Starnicki is a crazy, wonderful, whimsical, just fantastic woman. And she teaches adult classes, kids classes. She's an art teacher in the Sheboygan Area School District, and we are just so blessed that she's joined us at the Art Center. She has our Twinkle Twinkle classes for kids. We'll have summer programming out shortly to you. She and I have just started talking about some of our ideas, and they're really fun. We have Dale Van Minzel with an iPhone photography class coming up. Alexis Harden does wreath making and other classes as well. And again, our toddler art class will be back hopefully in August. Bianca, we're thinking about you too, as she's expected to be due any day now with her son. So we're really excited for Bianca too. So at the end of class today, I'm going to post a link to a community survey and a little 2-minute survey about the live event and how it went today for you. If you'd like us to continue, ideas that you have. Again, this is the first time that I'm doing it. Whew, I'm out of breath because I'm a little nervous, but any appreciation, feedback, things like that would be super, super appreciated. Okay, today's project. We are going to work on heart window displays, collages, mosaics, things like that. I was perusing Facebook the other day and I saw a group called Heart Hunters and Happy Heart Hunt. So if you're looking for really good examples of what we're doing today, I would suggest looking up those groups. Basically what we're going to do is make a design using heart shapes in our windows. Why would we want to do that? Well, if you're like me, I have children and I need to get out of the house daily to keep my sanity. So we've been going on family walks. And every day we go on a walk, I see a new window with hearts in it, and it's just so encouraging. And it's a way that we can be creative at home, using things that we probably have at home, and spread love to our neighbors and our community. So that's what I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about today. Let me just check my notes. This project can be as complicated or as simple as you want it to be. So I just want to stress, we really encourage that you use items that you already have at home. Please don't make a non-essential trip to a store to pick up items. Now, if you're out getting groceries and you wanted to pick up some extra supplies to make a more complicated display, for example, you know, by all means do, but please don't make just an extra trip. We want to keep our travel to essential purposes only. Okay, the first thing you want to do is see if you have a window that you want to use. So I'm going to show you guys my house a little bit. It's kind of messy, so sorry about it. You can see here we have a front window. The rainbow here is a project that Hugh and Tom worked on when they were at Toddler Art, and I love it too much to take that down, so I'm going to leave that there. And you can see that I've started over there my first letter. With Hugh's art, we're going to make a design that says love, just to spread some love, and we'll go through the process of that. So what I did was I picked my window and I washed it really quick just so I knew things would stick to it. The second thing you want to do is you want to decide on your design and how you want it to be laid out in your window. So my example that I have cut out for you today is the word love, but I'm going to do a different design. I have a big picture window in the front of my house. So I'm going to show you my little map that I made for that. So this is my little drawing that I made. As you can see, one corner will have the sunshine, one a few raindrops. I'm going to do some flowers, and my son Hugh is really into frogs right now, so I'm going to do a little frog under an umbrella. Now, this is going to be an undertaking that'll take me a couple of days to do. So if you're also in that boat where you're like, ooh, I want to do a cool design, but it's going to take me a couple of days, I suggest kind of chunking it into different sections and then, you know, going from there, right? So I'm going to start off with Hugh's love, and then I'm going to move to our big picture window. So again, this is my design. I did things like dashes for things that I want to have a thinner line. You can see I did some X's down here because I want to make those petals of this flower a little bit different than this one. A few things you can do. You should organize your display into a shape, okay? Or you could just cut out some hearts and put them in your window. Maybe do a diagonal, you know, kind of spread. I've seen people take a quote and then make a display around a quote. I've seen things as complicated as cutting out a little like person in a black silhouette, and then maybe a little girl is like blowing dandelion seeds into the wind, and those are the hearts that, you know what I mean, are kind of expressed through the air. On one of the pages I saw somebody recreate Harry Potter using hearts, which was pretty cool. Yeah, or you can start, you know, with a saying. My kind of inspiration for this one was April showers bring May flowers, because I really just need flowers to pop up. I need the gloominess to go away. Things such as that. Now, you might be sitting at home going, okay, well, I'm an adult and I want to do this project for myself. Or you could be on a different end saying, okay, I have 2 small children and we're not using scissors yet, so how can I cut out all these hearts around them? How can I get them involved? So what I'm going to do next, just because we are trying to reach all levels, is kind of explain how I would work with a different age group. So if you have babies, right? I have a 10-month-old, she's almost 11 months actually, and a 2.5-year-old. We are not doing a lot of cutting in our house because I don't have gray hair yet, but that will happen very soon. So what I've had them do, for example, I've taken Hugh's beautiful coloring that he does. He's a very aggressive colorer right now. I've taken that and I've cut those into hearts. Okay, so that's one way, you know, I can have them color, and then maybe while they're napping, I trace out my heart patterns, which we'll talk about in a minute, and then I arrange them. So that's the part where I get to be creative. They're being creative, manipulating the colored pencils, crayons, markers, for example. I get to be creative by arranging them and cutting them out. Another option you could do is, see, I'm trying to use products that I have at home. Last night we had cheesecake. It was okay. It was pretty good. I drew out a heart shape in crayon. I put glue, so I found this glue stick in our supplies, glued, and then I had Liv take pieces of old tissue paper. So it's Christmas tissue paper, And then I had her stick that on there. So I cut out some pieces beforehand and she manipulated the tissue paper onto the cardboard. Then I can go around and cut out the shape and I can add her heart to the display. So she's 11 months, but she's still able to be a part of our display, be a part of our art making. Toddlers, right? So for Hugh, again, I used his coloring pages. Something else you could do is have them take pieces of paper, rip it up, and then work on putting it in that heart kind of collage, right? So maybe putting some glue, if you have it, down on a piece of paper and having them manipulate the pieces. Okay, that would be another great thing for toddlers, but they could also be in charge of ripping the paper versus cutting it. Elementary school, this would be more of having them trace, right? So part of one of the ways that you can draw hearts is by making a template and tracing them. If you have cookie cutters, that's a great way, you know what I mean, to use the heart shape to trace. It's pretty sturdy. Another way you can cut out a heart too is by taking a piece of paper, right, folding it in half on the crease. I don't know if you can see me here. And then you cut the half of the heart shape into the paper. You unfold it, ta-da, and then you have a heart. So you can do them all freeform like that as well. And teaching your children, you know, safely how to cut out. You could do the same thing by ripping. You know, I'm gonna try this. Again, this will be a little less clean of a cut, but you could help them try to rip out the heart shape. You might do a little bit more out of the corner here. And there you go, you have a little heart. So again, you know, getting those younger kids too to be as involved as they can with their hands is really great. Middle school, maybe have them draw their own design, right? And you can help them talk about how to like make it come to fruition. And then high schoolers and adult, let your creativity go wild, you know? Use some of those recyclable pieces. We've seen, Tom and I on our walks have seen old Christmas paper. We've seen newspaper that's been colored. We've seen 15 packs of adult beverages that have been cut out and pasted on the window. You know, get creative, have fun with it, make it something that you enjoy if you want to go that far, or, you know, just paste a heart that says like hope or peace or thinking of you, something like that. It's a great way to just spread joy again. So we're at the heart stage, whatever level you're at, you know, babies through elementary, middle, or adults. You can do your hearts a few ways. Again, you can freeform it by cutting out different shapes and sizes. I like the control situation. So again, out of that box that I had Liv's heart on, right? I cut out a bigger, or this is my smaller, a smaller heart, and then I have a bigger heart too. Okay, so then I can manipulate these in different ways. I'll probably do a couple different sizes when I work on, you know, mommy's big display in the window versus the kids' display. So I would suggest maybe having a template of some kind if you are working on a more complicated design. It'll help you know your scale. And that's a big thing you want to think about too. How big is my space, right? How much do I want to fill? You know, you can plan it out on a table, and then when you put it in the window, it could be the right size, it could be too small, it could be too big. So those are things that you're going to want to think about as well. One other thing I wanted to show you. This has been drying for a little bit, and it's still kind of wet. If you have paint at home, and again, you're looking for something for little hands, fold a piece of paper in half, squirt some paint in the middle. I would do less is more, less is more, and you can always add more paint. So I had Hugh help me squirt some paint in the middle. We smushed it together, smush, 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 push it around, push it around. It's drying, but now I can cut some more hearts out of this that he helped me do. So that's another option for you. Okay, next step. Map out your design. I would suggest maybe doing it on a flat surface so you can see it, and then attach it to your window, okay? So I'm gonna just do a little cleanup of my workspace here to show you guys where I'm at with my love design. So I did put the L in the window because I wanted to check the size, and I think it's about the right size. It might be a little small for what I was hoping, but I'll bring this back so you can see I have my L with different sized hearts. I manipulated these upside down just to give it more of a straight line look. Okay, and you'll notice I put it on my window backwards. So when you're looking into my house, you'll read it correctly. You know, you don't want to start over here with the L facing you unless it's just for you. Then, I mean, that's okay too. Oops, there's my hand. You can see here, I have my O planned out. I have my V, which I decided to do just a big heart with a deep cut in the middle. And then if anybody has suggestions on how to do an E, I got a little stuck, but those are the hearts that I have left over at this point. So when you are making your layout of everything too, again, think about the size. Some people might take a measuring utensil and measure out their space and be very mathematical or geometric about it. Hats off to you. That just confuses me, so I'm not a person who does really well with that. But again, you can make this as complicated or as easy as you want it to be. At this point, you know, you can get started on your designs, your ideas. If you have questions on how to attach the hearts to your window, I'm using tape, but I've seen a lot of people use like glue. I mean, it's washable, right? So you know you'll have a sticky window after, so you'll have to like clean it when you take the design down. However, people have said that's been working really well for them too. I haven't tried it, especially with our cool weather. I'm not sure how well that would stick or not, but if you do try it, leave a message and let us know how it worked for you. Some of my tips and tricks on heart cutting or making your design. Materials, okay. So just some random materials that I keep thinking about. Tissue paper, cardboard, old food boxes, wrapping paper, scrapbooking paper. So I pulled out my old scrapbooking paper, and you can see that I have some hearts cut out, or traced out, I should say, on the paper. This is really vibrant, and I want it to be seen, my big display in the window. So I'm picking my old scrapbooking paper because it is a little bit brighter than construction paper. Again, if you don't have construction paper but you have crayons, find something and have your kids color, or color yourself. You know, you could go as far as adding glitter. You could go, which I know, okay, if you're a parent, you're like, glitter is terrifying to you. But, you know, you could add glitter just to give it a little bit of a sparkle. Let's see. I'm going to try pushing myself. Art is not necessarily my forte, like physical art. I do more performance art. However, you know, I really have been inspired by all of the different designs I've seen and what I've been seeing on Facebook. So I'm really going to push myself to do a more complicated design. And if I get there, awesome. And if I don't, well, at least I tried something new. Cutting out hearts. Now, this is taking me back to middle school. When I was in middle school, I had a fun job to do for student council, which was work on our banners. At Irvin Middle School, we had these great big banners that hung in the halls. And Mrs. Danielson was my 8th grade English teacher. She helped us make these beautiful banners. And she had some cutting rules, which I want to share with you. First of all, you don't want to use the tip. You don't want to use like the tip of your scissors. You want to get in there, right? You want to use the back end of your scissors, okay? I'm from the school that I leave the black on there sometimes, depending on the look that I want. So some people will say like cut inside the black line, cut on the black line, or cut outside the black line. For this project, I think I'm going to cut outside my black line, so I do have a nice little border. Okay, so I'm going to cut. Mrs. Danielson's biggest rule was that you cut into, not out of, any sort of corner, okay? So as I'm cutting, I don't know if you guys can see this, I'm going to cut into the middle, okay? Then I'm going to take my scissors out. I'm not going to try to manipulate it to cut around. I'm going to take my scissors out, then I'm going to go from the other side. Again, I'm going to cut around the black line, not on or inside. So I have that border in there. Ooh, it's been a long time since I've used this method. cutting around, cutting around. And there we go. And then I cut into, again, into the middle versus trying to scoot my scissors around and cut outside the middle. Okay, you can see here that I have a nice point. Okay, there's no little leftovers. And when you stick it, right, there might be a little bit of a cut, but you won't see it, okay? And it's better than trying to like wiggle it around. You get a much sharper cut. So Mrs. Danielson, if you ever watch this, I hope you're proud. Remembered that. Okay, so that's my cutting tip. Another thing you could do, let's say you want to do something different. Let's say you already have a heart window display. I saw one the other day using 3D hearts. It's kind of hard to see, but 3D hearts. So what I did was I took a strip, cut a strip of construction paper, folded this puppy in half. Then you take the ends at the top, you roll them in together. Now I need to find my tape. Well, and then wherever my tape may, oh, here it is. I found it. You tape your, I creased it a little bit there, that's okay. You tape your little ends together. And it should hold the shape. So one of the displays that I've seen, just like that. One of the displays that we've seen on our walk had all hearts kind of like this in the 3D format. And they strung them together. Here we go. Not my best, but you understand where I'm going. So they strung them like up and down like this, and they had them hanging in their window too. That would be a really cool thing to do as well, you know? Or if maybe you live somewhere where people aren't walking by and you still want to hang hearts in your house, you could always try to work on a mobile, right? Maybe you have some old twine or yarn or something like that. You could attach yarn into the middle and then have them hang. That would be kind of like a cool little mobile situation. So that's a 3D heart if you're interested in something like that. I highly suggest before taping it to the window, again, laying it out on a flat surface so you can see it. If you want to measure it, you know. If something looks wonky, you know. And then start either from the center, like if you're doing a flower, start at the center and then build out. With my L in the window, I'll show you what I did there. I wanted to make sure that it's in the middle. So at first, I put my first heart here. And then I was like, ooh, my love will be off center. So then I moved this in a little bit. I put this one on first and then these two to kind of create the base. And then I went up from there. So that's another idea. Just really think about, sorry guys, just really think about how you want to center it on your space or how you want to put it up there so it's even or straight, things like that. Look for examples to be inspired by. So maybe take a walk for exercise or just to get some fresh air and see if any of your neighbors have anything up. You could go on to Heart Hunters or I forget the name of the other one. Let me look. Heart Hunters, Happy Heart Hunt. If you type in hearts, you'll find different groups and people have really gone all out. I know some of the hospitals are doing some for appreciation for their healthcare workers, you know, or essential workers. Get creative, look for ideas, be inspired, pick your favorite things. Again, the only requirement per se is that you're using the heart shape for your items to create your scene or your phrases or whatever, you know, use those hearts and get creative. Okay, so that's our class today. I'm going to ask that you guys post your pictures of your finished project or works in progress. Use the hashtag Plymouth Arts Hearts so we can kind of get our community together to see them. Post a picture to our page or to your page and tag the Plymouth Arts Center in that. Let us see what you're creating. If you want to give the city that you live in, you know, so people in, for example, I'm in Sheboygan, but I know a lot of you are in Plymouth. You know, you can start saying like, this is my display in Sheboygan, or I might say like, this is my display you know, on the northeast side of Sheboygan, so people know my location. So if you're out walking, you know, you can start looking for those houses with displays. I know some communities are doing Easter egg hunts, you know, and doing Easter displays in their windows. I think that's so cool. I know the Mead Public Library here in Sheboygan has like Easter egg tools, you know, anything that you can do to get in your window, right? To spread the love, to spread some cheer at this point. And especially since it's been so gloomy the last couple of days, you know, pick things that are inspiring or words that speak to you, or designs, or just cut out a couple hearts and stick them in your window, just so you know, like, people know that you're okay, you're surviving and thriving too. Okay, so thank you all for joining me. You can go back at any point and rewatch this. And if you can, I'm going to post a link to a little survey. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know if you have any suggestions for me. Maybe slow down, maybe have more examples. Maybe something like, can you break it down so you have like a children's version and an adult version, for example. Anything you want to share is great. If you have an idea for a project, let me know. Hopefully I'll be coming to you guys about once a week. At this point, we'll see how often I can convince Tom to take the kids outside so I have some quiet time inside. Thank you so much for watching and participating. I cannot wait to see your photos. I'll share mine when we're done. Maybe the Art Center will have a little display this weekend if I can get out there. And we just really appreciate your support. We hope you all are well. We miss you, and we can't wait to see you guys when this is all over. Blessings. Bye.